All right, y'all clicked the thumbnail. You read the thumbnail, right? Kyle Lowry is the type of dude that would steal something from you and then help you look for it. Probably a food item, a snack or something like that, right? Like if Kyle was your roommate and one day you said, "Hey man, Kyle, I had leftover Chinese in the fridge. You didn't need it, did you?" Yeah, huh? What you mean, huh? He start digging through the back of the fridge looking for it. All the while you see some chow mein on the back of his pants. Like, come on, man. You know the type of dude, man. And look, Marcus Smart is similar in some of the antics they do, right? But I think there is a separator because I'm not talking about taking a charge at midcourt or hooking a guy and drawing a cheap foul. Some of the stuff that Kyle does, to me, goes outside of the spirit of the game and just competing. For instance, the hip check on Jaylen Brown last night. Now, it's subjective. There's no way to prove intent. I understand that. And there's going to be a fleet of people that are going to defend it and say, no way it was intentional. I'm here to tell you it was. If you've played enough hoop, you've played enough ball, all I can tell you is that was intentional. And then I think the worst part about it is he doesn't own it. He'll turn around and, oh, my bad. Oh, you okay, right? At least someone like Draymond, he kind of owns it. He kind of owns the villain role. Kyle's a sneaky dude. Look, man, I get why people like him. Like, he has to be probably a top 3 success story in the NBA, right? Like, he's 6 foot tall. He's built like a Best Buy employee. And then somehow he's a perennial all-star and an NBA champion. It's nuts. Like, let me ask y'all this. Is he better than Chris Paul, the point god, right? That's a conversation that is not out of line. You look at their accolades and their effectiveness. You could easily make the argument Kyle Lowry's a better point guard than Chris Paul. He's had a better career. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So I understand the underdog story and people appreciating how much he's made of himself in the NBA. It's not what I'm talking about. He's a phenomenal player. He killed it last night. I'm talking about the extracurriculars that go beyond competition where he is, I don't know what's going through his head. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I mean, if Jaylen Brown can't check back in that game, it's advantage Toronto. So I guess there's those of you that could say, well, that is competitive, right? But to me, that's where you're crossing into being a dirty player, right? And you could argue Marcus Smart does the same thing. You know, he's not the only dirty guy. Don't get me wrong. I just think that he is the guy that has more fans apologizing and claiming that he's not when he is. I'll put it to you like this. If he played down at my LA Fitness, I'd throw hands. Eventually. I'm not saying like the first time, but after a couple weeks, a couple months of playing, eventually I'd throw hands. Now, I'm sure he'd beat my ass, right? I'm sure he'd whoop me. I mean, I know he's strong as hell with them childbearing hips, right? I'm sure he'd thrust me all around the court. Pause. But I mean, I'm just telling you right now, if I know that there's a lot of different fans, there's a lot of different reasons, and there's a lot of people that admire, again, his success story. He shouldn't be where he's at, and I get that. But there's just something above and beyond. Like, take Draymond, for example. I think the worst part about it that annoys me the most is at least own it, bro. At least own it. Like, Draymond, we know about his shots to the groin, and, you know, Draymond he does similar things at times, right? But at least Draymond owns it. And Lowry, I think that's what annoys me most is like he turns to Jaylen Brown yesterday. Oh, my bad. If you watch the replay, it was a very unnatural hip movement, a twisting to get under him and tabletop him. And so I'm not talking about the charges again at half court and, you know, hooking a guy and drawing a cheap foul. It goes above and beyond that with Kyle Lowry.
So long as like alchemy.